That announcement, of course, being further bad news for French restaurant owners, with the government saying they will probably remain closed until at least mid-February. The nation's restaurants and bars having been closed now since the end of October. Joining me now from central Paris, near the normally crowded tourist areas of Sacré-Cœur, is France 24's Chris Moore. Chris, just how bad is it for the country's restaurateurs?
Well, in Place de Tertre, normally a slightly kitsch centre of tourism here in Montmartre, in the north of the French capital, famous for its street artists and its restaurants and a multitude of tourists. You can see the situation behind me. It's largely devoid of them today. Those restaurants, the vast majority of them are shut. Others, like this one here, doing what many have been doing across the French capital in recent months, trying to keep going by offering takeout services, home delivery, or mulled wine in the case of this place. But the owner saying that he's keeping going simply for morale's sake more than anything else, losing, he thinks, about 75% of his normal profits. Cafés, bars, restaurants, the wider tourism sector, obviously a hugely important part of the French economy. In terms of cafés, restaurants, etc., they employ 1 million people directly, 2 million indirectly. And as you were just saying, they've been having to get used to continuing bad news. 2020 was a disastrous year. That long lockdown starting in the middle of March, going on to early June. Another lockdown at the end of the year, and now the country under curfew. And some industry representatives, or some of their more pessimistic efforts, saying that if and when this all finally ends, or some 30 to 40% of these establishments are simply never going to be able to reopen their doors.
Chris, what degree of government support are they receiving?
Well, those industry representatives are relatively encouraged by the government's latest promises. The furlough scheme continues. There's another scheme which allows establishments to receive 10,000 euros a month. Another one which covers up to 200,000 euros worth of lost profits. But it is the uncertainty which restaurants and bars, like other businesses, simply don't like. As you said, the plan was for things to open up again in the middle of this month. Jean Castex, the French Prime Minister, kicked that date back yesterday to the middle of February at the earliest, but I think there's a lot of pessimism as to whether that is actually going to happen. Then, of course, there's the question of the kind of world into which we eventually emerge. Will people still feel comfortable eating in restaurants indoors? And then there's, of course, the fact that many people are now working from home, unlikely to be eating out at midday or going on business trips and eating out in the evening. So a lot of uncertainty for the industry.
Chris Moore reporting there from near Montmartre. Thank you.